Folks, welcome back for another episode of Friends Journey to Legendary. Yesterday was so horrible on so many levels that I wanted to make it up to you, and I also wanted to make sure that I've got this whole new computer situation nailed down. So I am going to go ahead and do this. We're going to spectate some games, as many as we can get a hold of. And I'm going to make sure that I can actually be where I want to be. The games can look the way I want them to look. And we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm trying to set things up now. Hopefully we'll be able to queue into a game momentarily. Alrighty, we're going to kick off today with a game with Banana Schwaaard.
Come on, then. Entertain me.
He is running a Battle Mage Dragons deck. He loves dragons, and this is one of his creations there. I haven't really seen Battle Mage Dragons, so I'm definitely curious to see how it goes. He also is the one who gave us the Dragon Dagoth deck. So it's probably going to have some similarities there, a little bit of overlap, but this is definitely obviously going to be more streamlined. We're not going to see Hand of Dagoth and things like that. So I'm curious to see. I haven't really seen, I don't know that I've ever seen a Battle Mage Dragon deck. So I'm excited. Looks like a pretty good hand. He has a curve. May not be the ideal curve, but he's got Midnight Snacks to go right into Flame Spear. Here we go. Getting down to it. Reflective Automaton. All right. And I did ask about, if there's anything specific about the deck that, y'all should know about. And he just said, nope, I like dragons. So, okay, so we are going to see the usage of some lookouts that you don't usually see. I mean, they're obviously great lookouts and they're not so great lookouts. I think the best lookouts, honestly, are in red and green. We got Draw Power and Drain, which for dragon decks, which tend to be a little bit slower. Oof. All right, she's going to go right off the board before you can put down Flame Spear and give her a ward, so that is a bit of a disappointment. He might have just played Reflective Automaton. That's neither here nor there because it's not relevant. So, okay, plays out the Automaton there. Of course, the Automaton is counting down towards Alduin. Once it gets removed, Alduin is going to get a two Magicka discount, and it's just going to go down from there. Got a nice premium version. That's not the alt art, I believe. That is just a snazzy looking dragon. Befitting someone who loves dragons. Okay, all right. Sorry, I thought I saw something there. Okay. Interesting to see how he plays this as well. I'm guessing with Battle Mage, this is going to be, as most Battle Mage decks are, aggro, if not mid-grow type hybrid, versus some of the dragon decks like Joseph's dragon deck. Oh, there are shenanigans afoot. There are shenanigans afoot. The real bummer with this is, Flame Spear is has great value. Interested to see if he's able to capitalize on it without like a Leaf Lurker or Finish Off, which takes advantage of the ping effect. Okay, obviously he did. right off the jump. He got that extra point of damage from Flame Spear, and that was enough to enable him to remove Thorana, which, as I thought, if she had been able to stay, this would have been. All right, so this looks like a very action-heavy deck, but it's great. Again, this is another card we just don't see very often, so we're getting to see a little Hannibal Traven. So Rocky's 33. Congratulations on playing some cards off the beaten path. Although I will say, boy, oh boy, and Banana's having none of that. He's like, I will have none of your shenanigans. I don't know exactly what you're trying to do with all these action-type cards. Thorana obviously discounting cards, and I believe him, when he dies, in theory, if he sticks long enough, any actions played, I think he puts them back in your hand. I'd have to look at that. Again, it's been, I have the card, but I never play it. Oh, no! Oh, no, he's gone! Wait, no, there he is. Wait, nope. Pass. Sorry, folks. I will have to follow up with you on that a little bit later. Back into the game. Flame Spear. Yeah, Flame Spear is still doing work. I think its utilization is hindered a little bit, but it would be hard to tell considering how well the game is going so far. I mean, aside from lightning bolts, we'll see. I don't know if Rockies are playing too many. Painted World, again, another card you don't see very much of. Happy to see it there. It's a very pretty card. Got the trolls down. Unfortunately, it's not going to stop the damage, and as it stands now, Banana's going to take the game very quickly, hitting with the 4 and then the 6.
Roots of the Hist.
Flame Spear and Clockwork for the dragon for the W. Hard and fast, concise. Well done, sir. Well done. Queuing into game number 2 with Banana. This is going to be the last one we get from him today. He's been playing for a little while, I believe. Up against Flynnbag, a top 10 player, so this could be a very intense match. Banana, as we can see, is climbing up from rank 2, the Atronach, the goofiest looking collection of odds and ends that ever there was, against a legendary number 188. So this is probably going to be pretty intense. I would assume, based on what we've seen, this. I was thinking movement or supports, but the Descendant of Akatosh, that is the name, right? Descendant?
I am too slick
Come
for
now.
you.
Yep, Descendant of Akatosh. That's a little bit different. Wow. So maybe this is just a kitty heavy list. Very interesting. Oh, Flame Spear would just eat them alive, but unfortunately, Flame Spear is nowhere to be found. Guessing a Blade Lookout is going to come down next turn. Can't ring out the Lightning Bolt. I'm not sure he would want to. A 4/4 for 1. As somebody pointed out, all the cards in the world don't do any good if you have no Magicka to play it. Obviously, you gain the Magicka the later in the game you go. But right now, Banana doesn't quite have the tempo he had in the last game. The ability to close it out quickly or to go on the offensive. I mean, he's not necessarily on the defensive at this point. But no real clear answer here, or clear response. Ash Berserker, perhaps? No? Okay, he's gonna Zappo the opposition. So again, good stuff to be thinking about here. Even though, like I said, in the last game, Battle Mage Dragons, you think, okay, this is going to be more aggro, but he's playing a more conservative game. A very sad, vicious Drag, not as vicious as you may think he would be, Drag, because he's just, I'm a 3/4, what am I going to do? I will eat your Lookout. Okay, interesting, so he's not going to, he can't ring out the dragon. Okay, for a moment there, I wasn't paying attention. You've seen me play, I sometimes lose track of the Magicka that I have. Nice premium Ash Berserker there with a little skirt. We'll call it a kilt. I like to think that's a kilt, but it's pretty much a loincloth. Vicious Drag is going to trade favorably with the Lookout before he can actually get any value. And Flynnbag, it's hard to say without chuckling. Hopefully that's the intention. I'm not making fun of the name, but Flynnbag just sounds kind of fun. It's like bin bag. Bin bag. I never heard that word before, but it came up. I was watching another a gamer stream, and they had a character named Bin Bag, and I thought it was hilarious. And I looked it up, and it's actually the UK or the British version of a trash bag. They call it a bin bag, which kind of makes sense. Anyway, found that amusing. Flame Spear, again, great if they try to play down another, whatever that turd muffin's name is. Can't remember the little... we will get what is needed, unless we are zapped in the face with a firebolt, in which case we won't get jack diddly squat. Flynnbag with a heavy card advantage right now. Life total not so great. I mean, Banana's doing the whittling down. It's one of those things where you don't really notice it until, right now at this point, 2 turns later. Curious to see if he's going to try to remove the 3/2 to eliminate that kind of incremental life gain, or if he's just going to go face. So this could be a very slow to move support deck, as I thought initially. Just happened to feature some cats early on. Not going to get any value from that Berserker until the Clockwork Dragon comes out, but he has to play him in the field lane in order to get the value. Glacial Dragon, I think, will do it, though. No, it will not. No, it will not. Okay, so he's going to play it there to get the card drain and the card draw, and also get a life gain, because he is in a bit of a race with Flynnbag here. The Glacial Dragon is going to be fantastic, regardless of what happens, just because it is going to shackle one of these critters, and I guess it'll be the 3/4 if nothing crazy happens. Flynn's got to decide here. I mean, he's got... Wow. Okay. Did not... Yeah, this is a... either it's you never can really tell sometimes if it's a unique build or if they're just kind of drawing backwards. You know, if they have cards that you would normally see, but they're just not getting them in the right order or they're getting them late, it can be a little bit hard to tell. I'm thinking Glacial Dragon just to stop the bleeding. But he might not with that drain. He might not need to. Okay, takes the lightning bolt and the 4-2 comes down. Okay. This is all making sense. Flinbag, unless he's got a charger of some kind, the ward on the 4-2 wouldn't help. All right, so 4-4 coming down. I'm guessing we're on the eliminate turn. Yep. I cannot remember if... I'm guessing 4-4 is going to eat a lightning bolt. That's hard. Best magic would be the Glacial Dragon and Shrieking Harpy. But if he has a way to trigger the 4-4, I don't know how heavily Flynn has leaned into the organic. All right, I was way off. Then it puts a Blood Dragon, which is, I love that card. That was one of the first cards. I was like, oh my gosh, I must get premium. All right, and that answers the question. I've never used that lookout, to be honest. I didn't know if the ward came as soon as the dragon came out, or if the ward would be applied the turn, at the end of the turn. Clearly we see it comes down as soon as the dragon comes out. Would a deck like this run, would Flynn's deck run a Dawn's Wrath? I don't think so. I think we would have seen it already by now. But he's not beyond Jadala's Treachery, and that just kills it because he was not able to play a card to trigger Jadala's Treachery. He is really, at this point, kind of on the back foot trying to avoid death. 7, 8, 9. He is going to be one off of lethal as it stands right now. Unless my math is wrong, which it often is, but no, he is going to be one short. Is he going to break that last rune? Interesting. I can understand if... Okay, and Flinbag concedes... All right, we have queued in medias res to a Sea City Toker game. Never count this man out. He is down. If this was reversed, I probably wouldn't... I'd have queued back out of this game because I'd say he's got it taken care of. But as we can see, the opponent, name 559, the Untouchable at rank 3, has or had the advantage. Okay, maybe... I spoke too soon. For a minute, when you just look at the actual score, if you're not looking at the board state or anything else or the cards, you're going, okay, this could be a heck of a comeback. And within the amount of time it takes for me to get the intro done, Sea City has already pretty much leveled the playing field and is probably going to run away with this in the next turn or so. But all is not over. Give it a little bit of time. We'll see what develops. And then we'll hopefully jump into a full game in a few moments. But I would like to point out, this would have been a great game for us to see earlier. As you can see, he's made the Ratway Prospector a viable option. He's actually played against me with this deck, and he's mopped the floor with me, as per usual. But you can see he's actually triggered her already, and he's using her in conjunction with the... what was this called? Expertise. The Expertise, which is a favorite of mine. Doggone, stupid Shadow Lane. Which is a favorite of mine, and that's I love the. It's funny because if I'm not mistaken, the Guildscorn Cavalier is when you played the game originally, the Daggerfall Mage that we currently have. I think she was the iteration, the card art that came before that, and the one before that is the Stalwart, whatever. She's a 3/4 Slay, I think, or 3/5 Slay in agility, and I think we're just seeing some of the card art from the quest of the game. That's where some of these later cards came from. Anyway, just a little bit of something to muse upon. But again, we're seeing Mage's Guild come down. That's what wrecked me last time. But it's just great to see the Ratway getting some love and getting that buff, because she really can. She can snowball out of control. We're gonna try to, I think, catch Sea City Toker's next game from the beginning to be able to watch how that is developed, because again, it's just a card that you don't see very often. She's kind of hard to make stick. She only turns invisible after she attacks, so if she doesn't get to attack, if there's a guard in front of her, she's kind of hosed. The premium is very pretty, and let me not lose focus on the gain here because it is far from over. Sea City again on the back foot a little bit, but because he does have Sill's dementia at play there, oh, that removal is going to be huge. Huge. He can pretty much eliminate that whole lane without even worrying about it. That's game. That should be game. 1, 2, 3, zap, zip, zap, zooey, and he's got 17 in the other lane. No, okay, he's gonna go a little more prudent route. I'm not sure. He just may be taking precautions. Although he does get his 6-4 shackled. I guess he wants to win with the Mages Guild.
Let us begin the lesson.
Okay. Certainly not one to question it. He could. I think he's just playing it safe there, just to play around all kinds of things that Name 559 could have in his deck. It's great to see Halalu colors. We don't see them very often anymore. To be honest, I don't recall them. Denise mentioned at one point she had a Halalu deck. I was like, oh my gosh, Halalu's the thing. It used to be that was like your go-to aggro deck back in the 2018-2019 time frame. That during those tournaments, Halalu aggro was huge, but it seems to have fallen out of favor or fallen out of use. So who knows? Hopefully, Name 559 will inspire some people to give that a try again. But really, there's, especially with the Fingers of the Mountain, there's really no way to finish this off.
Don't make
Okay, so just confirmed that it was not necessarily a strategic reason behind Sea City's decision to play the cards that he has. He's just enjoying himself and enjoying the process. I can understand that to a degree. As you all know, I'm very big into just getting things over with myself. He does have the win with the breakthrough easily enough. The opponent's going to see it as well. May concede or may just say, hey, go ahead and do your shenanigans. Let's see what you got. And no, he just decides to finish it off. Happily, we are going to get to see Sea City Toker take this deck from the beginning. This is the same deck we just saw in the last game. His name is very apt, the Treasure Hunter. This is a expertise / treasure hunting deck. We don't get to see a whole lot of treasure hunting deck. I'm guessing, I can't recall. He did send me the deck list a long time ago, but I haven't looked at it in a little while. I'm thinking Aldora is in here, so. But I just think it's great to be able to see the treasure hunting material. Hey, you speak her name and she appears. Deploy, Aldora. Deploy. Come on, she's the obvious choice, right? Aldora. Aldora. Aldora.
I fear no man.
Excellent. Just as I suspected, this guy, don't even know his name, Guildsworn Wayfarer. Not even a premium. Come on, Sea City, I know you can afford better than that. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Why is he not a premium? It's like the only non-premium card in the whole deck. Well, wait, Aldora's not a premium either, is she? Okay, well, my point is moot. Holy cow, look at what we're... So, Fierce Laughter, the Dovahkiin, rank 3, a Skeevatron. I have not seen a Skeevatron in... ever. Justin Larson, for those of you who ever watched Justin Larson play, that is probably the last time I've ever seen a Skeevatron, and like even then, I think it maybe saw one deck. So Fierce Laughter either has some nefarious plan that we are not privy to, or they're just playing some crazy fun stuff just to give it a whirl. But we're getting to see both treasure hunting and some craziness here. Looks like the Snowy Saber Cat is going to eat it, trading everything from that lane into it. Or is he going to equip a dagger to save the 1/2? Yep. Okay.
Go get them, Skywag.
We pause for a sneeze. And we're back. 4-3. Should have another one to play down there. I usually play the 4-3-2. Okay. And another Skeevatron. What is the gimmick with Skeevatron? I keep saying Skeevatron. It feels like it should be, but I mean, I grew up with Transformers. 1 for 1 for every skeever you summon this game. Okay, so in theory, we've got some. They've got the skeever. The skeever. No, the skeevers. Got them in hand somewhere. But it doesn't look like the poor skeevers are going to get a chance to deploy, as Sea City is just demolishing. Wow. Turn 6 lethal. Third game with Sea City Toker and the expertise / treasure hunt deck. We've seen it just do very well so far. And Sea City's, bemoaning the fact that he has not drawn a treasure map, but I would say he's doing very, very, very well without it.
The gods.
Right move.
And this is great. As Sea City is one of those players who he has several decks that are kind of the apex. They are the meta type decks, not necessarily your control. He's more geared towards the aggro, but he's got decks, in other words, that can burn very, very quickly. But he enjoys playing a variety. He likes a smattering. He likes to try different things, and in what he calls meme decks. A meme deck for him is a normal deck for me. So, take that as you will. But I always like watching what he comes up with.
Sure, I don't have any idea who took your call.
He got. I believe he cracked the top 10. All right, looks like he is going to sacrifice his Wayfarer for the card draw. Serial is going to get a little bit of value here, at least one turn's worth, which that's enough to really shift. Oh no! No, the crappiest piece of granite to ever exist in the Skyrim universe is now here in our midst. Woohoo. Please, Sea City, tell me you have the douche. Tell me you run the douche, because I don't want to look at that piece of garbage this whole game. But anyway, I don't want to be biased. I'm sure there are plenty of fans of Mundus out there, so hey, it's my personal thing. I won't say another word about it. It's just there, and it irks me, and it stinks. Whatever. Got a guard down there to prevent... Oh, well, in theory... Oh, is he going to mute? He is. Okay, that's actually not bad, because what we've seen is Sea City's game strategy here isn't necessarily to heal with giggles. What's more important is that Ratway can still...
By seed and speed.
Mundus doing the Mundus thing.
Raise the spine of battle.
Oh, and a charge on the 1/4. Wow. He's got the execute to deal with it, but of course, Mundus...
My thanks.
It's really hard. And we get a little bit of taunting. You deploy an RNG heavy component, and then you taunt that it actually did its thing. There's no accounting for taste, but I know Sea City, he is not easily flabbergasted by such things. He just kind of ignores it and plows through. Great player, and just very appreciative of being able to see a deck like this.
This belongs in a museum.
I can't hear, but I know she's saying a fine like this belongs in a museum. And you see the synergy here between cards like the 4/6 and Ratway. And she goes into the shadows, and the 2/2 eats the execute. And just like that, you see Sea City with card advantage, board advantage. His life is getting a little bit low, but not as low as it would need to be for Yaroslav. 1984. Presumably birth date, which is cool. He's about my age. And you see there, we had a little bit of what looked like we had a taunt, but he also kind of gave him the compliment, acknowledging, in my mind, the word is his superiority, but that isn't yet to be determined. It's 19 to 26. There's still a lot of game left to be played. 1/2 does have the ward, so it's rallied a creature. It's rallied the 8/8, which isn't a huge deal for the health game, but it is a beefy guard that right now I don't see Sea City having a great way to deal with. Guildsworn and Skooma Cat would allow the Guildsworn to attack the 8/8, but she's only a 4/4, so he'd pretty much have to trade in everything he's got, or Eldora and the Ratway, in order to clear the 8/8. as it stands now. And that looks like what he's going to do. Oh no! Oh dear, I made a miscalculation. I guess she got a 1/1 buff. Sorry, folks. Sorry, my apologies. I miscalculated on that. I have heard it said on, actually during one of the Masters broadcasts, they said that, I believe it was CDH, said that streaming math is never accurate or never works out. So I don't feel horrible. I don't necessarily feel great either. And Skywag is going to bite the big one to get the rally lethal off the board. 1984 now with just a somewhat beefy mammoth who will now come to become a 6/6 thanks to the Thieves' Den.
I slay the unworthy.
And we've got another one. Holy cow. She is looking to slay the unworthy. Everybody looks pretty worthy. I'm thinking she might get maced in the face, locked into place. And to her disgrace, she will... I'm not going to keep going. I'm not a freestyle artist here. Steel Dagger? No! Okay. All right. Again, watching and learning the decisions that are being made here. All right. Well, we did call that one.
My paws are
She did eat
quicker
the
than your
mace.
eyes.
I'm guessing Steel Dagger will be the next thing to go, but we'll see. He's got two of those. And I remember actually Joseph, I believe, it was either Joseph or Mark.
Try something.
I believe. No, or it might have been Leo Zaro. He might... Somebody!
This one won't.
Somebody told me this is the best 3-drop in the game, the Discerning Thief. It's great. She's a common, so you could get a nice, pretty premium, and it won't cost you a premium. All right, so Razzle is probably going to eat she's probably going to get a dagger. She's got a bag in one hand, but she'll probably get a dagger in the other hand. Wardcrafter for the favorable trade there.
Careful there, friend.
Works out well. Razzle goes down. Gets a little bit of value before he bites the big one, but he's off. Ooh, Mage's Guild. That is going to be a big deal. We've already played a dagger, so the Mage's Guild Conjurer will trigger next turn. Guildsworn Revitalizer, maybe? No, he needs that. He probably wants that for... Okay. Giggles bites... She goes away. Giggles goes away. He's at 9 health, so I thought he might want to keep Giggles around just to get some incremental health going. But I think he is got a more aggressive mindset at this point, thinking that he can now make the turn. Interesting to see if he plays Guildsworn Cavalier or the Mage. Okay, he's going to play the Mage. And probably before he attacks face is going to go Guildsworn Cavalier, Steel Scimitar. Oh, Alyelid Guardian. Oh, we milked the heck out of that card yesterday in my personal playthrough, but oh boy. He is going to be able to trade with all of the varied assortments of weaponry he has there. And he will be able to obviously trigger Guildsworn Cavalier. All the weapons, all the stuffs. Aren? Aren, yep, goes. It's always a fun little game trying to guess what's going through your opponent's head. It doesn't mean that I'm right, or that it doesn't automatically mean it's the best play. But if I think of it and they think of it, then it feels pretty good. This is going to result in that is a heck of a board. Is that lethal? 9, 15, 19, 27. Yeah, he's got lethal for days plus the extra 2. From the Guildsworn Oathman.
This one is very resourceful.
Unless she gets charge. Oh boy. Oh boy. That and guard. Wow. All right, so lethal will have to be delayed for a turn. The good news is Guildsworn is going to be able to trigger
Form ranks.
what's her name? The Cavalier. Again, so all the entire lane is going to get buffed. Guild's Revitalizer. Oh yeah, he's got all the stuffs. He's got all the stuffs. The 9/9 is a bit troublesome. Does he have lethal on this turn with what he has in hand now? Though I don't. 8, 12. Well, we'll see. He's going for it. Probably the Bloodluster. No, okay, all right. 19, 7, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think he has exact lethal, unless my quick impromptu math is off. He does have exact lethal. If he doesn't hit a prophecy, he will be able to close this out with this final charge. He does have exact lethal. Oh no! It's a last run prophecy.
If I fall.
Oh no! Oh, and gets the ward. You gotta be kidding me.
Hard-fought victory.
It has been an engaging.
Oh. Ghostform Bloodluster doesn't. 9/9 is good. Oh my gosh. And Mundus gives 1984 the victory on a last run prophecy, and Sea City concedes out of it. Happy to say Sea City has jumped back into the fray immediately, not on a moment's pause. He didn't, I gave him my condolences for losing. And then you see the response there. Yeah, it sucks, but whatever. That's the way he rolls, and it's really great. And it's kind of a reminder to me just not to take things like that seriously. Well, you've seen what happens when that kind of thing happens to me. But, he's back in the swing of things. He's back in it. And I would say, based on what we saw before against Sorcerer, probably is looking at a good turnout this time. Ward against Ward.
Careful there, friend.
Although, who knows? And this is... But the good thing is, the way Sea City Toker's deck is... even if there's an unfavorable trade, there's some shenanigans that go on turn 3 or 4. I don't think he's out of it. A lot of times that can be the case. If you're able to get a favorable trade in the lane, it's just going to be your opponent's not going to be able to recover. I think he's very capable of stabilizing regardless. Interesting to see. Does he? Okay, he goes for damage instead of breaking a ward on either of the two creatures. We'll see if Futile Comet. Futile. I mean, that just sounds cool. Futile Comet. Futile Comet. I don't know. I feel like there's something poetic about that. Something about the end of the world and comets trying to. I don't know. Let's focus on the game, shall we? Harpy. See, that's a. Again, it's hard to it's hard to underestimate or overestimate, I suppose, the value of tempo swings like that. Game is not over, that's certainly not what I'm saying. She gets a treasure map. That is going to really... Wow. You saw that. In one fell swoop, she is now a beefy 7/8. Hopefully, Feudal doesn't have a silence, because that just really... Especially a Sorcerer's Negation, that just completely crushes all the momentum that Ratway has gained. She is formidable. And I think in the field lane they're going, we're in the wrong lane right now. Somehow Ratway has gotten away from us.
You must be cleansed.
There is the silence. She is now 1/2. Never again shall she become magnificent. Guild Aren. Has he played an action already? I don't think he has. Nope. No action. So no real value for Aren, but not a lot of great options to play. Channeled Storm, perhaps, and trade into the Abominable Priest. No, he says, screw it. My Ratway's going to get it love. No, okay. Fooled me once. Shame on me. So maybe Crusader's Assault then? I'm spitballing here. I'm not saying anything with any confidence. Not really sure. I feel like he could go several different ways with this. chooses to. He's only going to draw one, but he does eliminate the Shadowfen Priest. No wards now in the field lane.
Out upon it.
Looks like Feudal has learned to respect the rat. Spoke too soon. Oh, okay, he has learned to respect the Ratway. She is going to eat a firebolt to the face, unfortunately. Fingers of the Mountain. Great pull here. 1, 2, 3. Really not doing too badly here. Obviously 5 points off. That's a bit painful. Channeled Storm and...
May the ancestors bless.
Nope, okay. Crusader's Assault. Avon trades favorably with the board in the field lane. We can see Sea City is moving very quickly. I'm not even really getting a chance to think about the turn. He kind of seems to know exactly what he's doing here, which is great for him, great for you all. It's makes me look a little dumber than I normally would, but I'm totally okay with that. Giggles! We might see her come into play next turn for some immediate health gain, because right now he needs it. Don't know what reach Feudal is sitting on. Oh, Execute. Great pickup right there. 2/2 is going to eat it. No doubt. Giggles, I'm guessing. And probably the Oreo sister. Dagon Seducer. I've never actually tried to pronounce that whole thing. Mehrunes Dagon Seducer. Mehrunes Dagon Seducer. I don't know. Seducer. Not to be confused with the much bigger Seducer. All right, choosing not to play the Seducer. Play the Seducer. Nope, not going to play the Seducer. Going to play Plunder. So Giggles will get her two heals. Some card draw. And we will see the Seducer. Okay, I'm breathing a sigh of relief. Not just for Sea City's sake, but for my own. I'm thinking, like, that's with a life total that low. Like, I would be very surprised. You know, what card would be better to play there? So fortunately, I'm not so far out of the loop that I'm not perceiving something obvious. Just have to hope that Feudal doesn't have another timely negation. Meh. It's still painful, even though it's not me. It's still painful. I still feel the pain, because this is a scenario I've been a part of many times. Giggles has not been silenced, however. She is still very happy. She's going to need some protection, or I'm thinking the Covenant. The Covenant. It's not Covenant Plate, is it? Covenant Masterpiece. I mean, she could eat a silence too, and that would be horrible. But I think Covenant would do really well. It'll help her survive. It'll keep the 5/5 off the face. Oh, another Prophecy. My gosh. That's fine. I don't think he was looking to attack with her. There we go. All right. You see, Covenant doesn't kill the 5/5, but like I said, keeps 5 damage from off the face tentatively, barring another unforeseen or unhappy silence. And we'll allow a trade there. Let's see if Feudal has another one. Obviously, probably running 3 copies of both Negation and Shadowfen, so not ridiculous to think that in a 2-attribute deck could draw either one of those next.
Behold my brilliance.
All right. Interesting. I mean, that does mean she's going to be much easier to trade with. No way right now that we can see to buff her.
A fine display.
Fine display. Not really. Oh, of course, he sees lethal. I wasn't even looking for that. Can't gotta train the brain. Sea City not taking any chances at all after that last rune Prophecy there. Takes the win with Giggles. Already, we seem to have hit a lull. We had a whole bunch of activity from a bunch of folks, and then everybody just kind of poofed, And we have a few people online now, but they're just online. They're not really doing a whole lot. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and jump into a game on our own. This is a deck I have not yet played on here. I called it Joe's Fluffification. This was a deck that Joe came up with and had a little bit of help. He consulted with K Fluffy to kind of fill it out and to make it better, more robust, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how extensive the upgrades were, but it is kind of a collaborative deal, but mostly, initiated and formed by Joe. And so I wanted to go ahead and give that a try while we're waiting. Hopefully at the end of this game, we will have somebody else queued up to play. But in the meantime, you're kind of stuck with me. So, but I've just been curious. I have not had a chance to try this deck yet. I'm looking forward to seeing how it does. We just did Control yesterday. And like I said, I feel like it's a lose-lose a little bit. Speaking of lose-lose, up against a mage. What are the odds this is a kosher mage? Well, we shall see, won't we? Sure.
Greetings.
We will greet them with pleasantness. Let's see how we go. So, Crodenang, alrighty, and
Victory is yours.
the comment section is really funny, and some comments I saw clearly were from some control players, like saying like, hey, you're never supposed to hit face, or you shouldn't hit face. Ideally, you don't hit face, and some saying, hey, it'll just take you a little while to get used to it, and things like that. So obviously, we got control players watching, who were probably like gritting their teeth when they watched some of my gross misplays. We'll see. I'm not really sure what we're up against yet. Battle Mage might just be good to have a low-cost person on the board to contend. Say hello to Icky Sticky AZZ. So Icky Sticky, I think that's Azura is the actual name. All right, so yeah, this was a Battle Mage, so we were right to hold on to Cleric as we want to put up a bit of a fight against the Relentless Raider in all her relentlessness. But so I think control players chafed at what they saw me doing, and people who were not control chafed just watching control be control, because that's kind of how it goes. I was thinking about not doing that, but I just feel like this kind of deck, we don't want it to get away from us. I was thinking I'll just take 3, but could have thrown a freaking, well, not a mace, but could have thrown some kind of weapon on him and wreaked havoc. So we will probably be ringing out Cloud Rest here. I'm not going to use Edict on him. We're also not going to hit. Hey, that is a great draw. We yoink his guard. We're not hitting. Typically, I don't quite understand sometimes when people just refuse to hit altogether. I get if you're pure control, I understand. I guess that's the kind of the mindset. Usually I like to keep myself in the mix, but this is obviously a very aggro-y deck. And hey. Yeah, we'll go over here.
Citizen.
Come and get me, crabs! I shouldn't say that because Icky Sticky could very well have crabs. Alright, so what we're going to do, I think. I mean, a Divine Fervor would allow him to win, but I think Cloud Rest.
A little distraction might prove
A little bit of that. Like I said, we don't want to hit face right now. Bam! Bam! Who is the man? ¿Quién es el hombre? I'm not sure if that's correct Spanish. We have a few folks that I think that could actually correct me. But ¿Quién es el hombre? I think is who is the man, right? Is that close? I think that's okay. 5 years of Spanish, and that's about all I can come up with. Alrighty, sweet. We're just going to go ahead and queue really quick into Jay Shades. I think he's just started relatively recently. Okay, not quite so much. Up against McConnell in NPO. We've seen McConnell against Dano, I believe, not too long ago, not too many games ago. I think he put up a good showing. Obviously, he's ranked 3. I believe it was, and the founder, which, as I understand it, is a title you could only get if you were there. I don't know if it was for the initial beta launch, but you had to be into this game pretty early in order to get that. So McConnell is one of the OGs hand is going to get bounced back to hand, which seems both ironic and fitting at the same time. Huge swing for Jay Shades. Not swing. I say that word a little too much. There's a lot of words I'm noticing in the commentary that I'm saying too much, and it's just laziness, and I just need to get out of that habit. It wasn't a swing, it was a... well, maybe it was a swing. I don't know.
I will have your head.
Clearly, I'm not at all torn by this. Dark Seducer. It's a fantastic pull. Not sure if we're going to see it played here. Because a Redoran could eat the 5-1. Really, though, I think he's eyeing that 5-4, yeah. I mean, Dark Seducer survives.
Walk with our Lord.
So even though McConnell's going to drain for that 5, the 7/7 is still going to be able to oppose him on the next turn unless throws a mace or pretty much any weapon at all. Doesn't have it, apparently, or is choosing to save it. So the 7/2 will survive unless there's some kind of action there. I'm stating the obvious, I know, but I'm just trying to cover all the bases here. Alright, so he heals back up. So even though we came into this game, it looked like it was more or less over. McConnell has kind of leveled the playing field. And with another hand of Dagoth, I mean, I guess Dagoth would naturally have 2 hands. We're very much in the next. He probably is going to get the Edict. Or the Javelin. The Javelin Edict. That's what I meant to say.
Protect the Ashkan.
Have business with House Halalu. My paws are
And
quicker
McConnell
than your
just...
eyes.
that's one of those crazy things where if you blink, you go, wait a minute. How did you have Magicka enough for that? It's just kind of a weird way it all plays out. Aspect of her scene might be what we see. It's hard. I mean, well, that and Execute could... All right. I like that play better than what I was speculating.
I am ready to join the circle.
And maybe the Execute. Yep. All right, so, I mean, McConnell, though, now has card advantage and essentially board advantage and almost tied in health. So this is really anybody's game right now. We're seeing some great play. McConnell also, just noticed, has the animated card, which means he has finished in the top 100. Might have finished higher than that, but at least we know he finished in the top 100. Jay Shades, I believe, has also finished in the top 100. He's certainly a regular frequenter of the Legend aspect we're seeing. I really like that card myself, just for the options it has coming down as a guard there. Even if it gets silenced, it's still a 12/12. It would have to get a Fell the Mighty or get bounced back. Oh boy.
This one is in no
And
mood.
unfortunately, obviously McConnell now knows that he's got Aspect, and now it's just one of those things where you don't know, oh, that is I mean, not necessarily a game-changing prophecy, but definitely a significant one. Unfortunately, the Execute dead in Jay Shade's hands.
I am the Queen Mother. Attend me.
And McConnell making Aspect of her scene pretty much not, okay, I was going to say negligible, but Aspect in the Shadow Lane and Rift Vein in the Field Lane. Rift Vein and Field, Aspect and Shadow could provide another turn, but he's going to go a different route. We'll see what he's going to pull off here. Orc Clan to trade with the 5/3. Alright. So has 19 damage on the board. Charge and drain. Alright. Has he managed to? He may very well have. That's 13, 16.
You are full of surprises.
Oh, Scott the other belly G. So pretty much anything he did, Aspect wouldn't have done it. And unfortunately, the Golden Initiate's not going to do it. So Jay Shades is going to lose to McConnell. Well played by both.
Nicely done.
Yeah. once again, we have run a little bit short on folks playing the game right now. Hard to believe with 20 plus friends. That's not a brag or a flex or anything. That's just stating the facts. 20 plus friends, and at this particular time, Monday evening, well, at least Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., ain't nobody here. I can't tell you how many times I go to actually sit down and play, and there's like at least 9, I've seen as much as 12 at one time, people mixing it up and playing all kinds of things, versus arena, versus stuff, practice, you name it. And now I can't find a single person. So we're leaping into the fray once again, and if there's nobody playing after this, this will be the last game of the series, which is fine. Again, this wasn't supposed to be a play day. This was supposed to be a writing day, but I really wanted to make up for yesterday because I really think everybody kind of got the short end of the stick in some way or another. As I said, Control saw some really bad Control play, and Non-Control saw Control doing some crazy things. So
Hello there.
hopefully this is going to be something that's a little more rounded out, a little more pleasant for everyone.
Of course I'm on your side.
We're up against TESL, running. Oh, for goodness sakes! Running workshop. Running workshop. Our only hope here is to close it out before the automaton comes down. Otherwise, we're just gonna eat it. Luckily, we do have Cloud Rest, who can allow us to trade favorably. But the workshop. The workshop. All right. Yeah, I think this is going to be the. There's more damage there.
A little distraction might prove useful.
I will spill your blood.
Deserves another.
All right. Well, Dragon Tail's great. Slinking Jackal will be great.
Face me and die.
Get this out of the way. Go down. The Jackal comes over here, and you know what? Let's go ahead and skedaddle you as well. I mean, at this point, the way the game's been going, I don't really expect to be able to close this out before Automaton comes down. Once that comes down, we will concede, because there really is. I mean, even with Piercing Javelin, it's a one turn. It's a one turn swing. It's a ridiculous. I'm sure we're running. Hey, you know, well, Black Dragon and Empire Oathman is great. This right now is only going to give us +1. Guess that could be worth it.
My arcane spear. This day will be mine.
So we're doing some good damage. Our opponent with a full hand of cards, though, and two of the most high-powered supports in neutral at their disposal. I don't expect anything fantabulastic to come out of this, but kind of hoping we were going to race. But how many more of those have they got? All right, so. Oh, actually, that will work. That will work. Eat that. I mean, I hate to get my hopes up. I really do.
Of course, I'm on your side.
But we may, unless Automaton comes down this turn, I think we might be able to pull this off. Bewildering Speed, Divine Fervor, if nothing else. The problem is if I had played anything in the other lane in order for Bewildering Speed to get its perk, it would have been eaten by the 5-1. Alright, so I was able to create a guard through. That is going to draw some cards. Another guard, yes. And another guard. Let's do this.
My blade is death to assassins.
Yeah, just have to do it.
Imperial business.
I was thinking about Bewildering Speed just so that we could save him, but I don't think that's going to help us here. So, let's see. What he survives this trade. Survives.
Motherless
Let the jacket
dog.
survive. Alright, so yeah, not looking great. Bewildering Speed, depending what they put in the field lane, might, with Divine Fervor, might be enough for our Black Dragon to pull it off. Bewildering Speed, does that only... Okay, no, it just gives 1/1. Okay, so yeah, we do have lethal if all we get is guards in the field, in the shadow lane. Otherwise, we could be in trouble. Of course, we still have the threat of the automaton looming overhead. We've seen before that is a 20-point swing. That's especially if that comes down with, well, we can't speculate. Let's stop speculating over what could be and just wait for what is and deal with it accordingly. I find this acceptable. Oh, well. Shoot. Do we just edict? No.
Chimera, spirit of the sky, guide us. This is on your
All right. Pulled it off against Workshop. And we are queuing into Mark. Marches for life. 20 to 30 against Broda.
There's a plan. There's always
Looks like
a plan.
playing a the lane shiftiness archer. And Mark took, as we can see, Mark pretty much was in a rough spot there, but seems to be stabilizing at this point, Broda being out of cards at the moment. Broda is at number 4, though. Holy cow, he has climbed high, climbed fast. Mark, stay in the mix, boy. Man, Mark, I really am looking forward to the day that you break top 10, because you get close so many times. I mean, you were always in the mix, so I'm really hoping to see you be able to pull this off. And hey, Mark is playing a Tribunal deck, which is completely different. Haven't seen that those colors from him. I've seen Redoran and I've seen Empire. We're now saying, I'm not saying that that's all he played, certainly, but it's great to see some Tribunal. I personally like Tribunal. I mean, I like Exalt Tribunal. I like that color combo and those effects. Tribunal. I hate playing against Tribunal. Obviously, most people do. Broda also, of course, did just now noticing, because I'm slow, that he was in the top 10. He is going to give the concede efficiency, and that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. We just have kind of run out of folks playing the game at the moment, but we will get back into the fray next time. Until then, keep playing.